Good morning and happy Saturday morning. How is everybody doing? I'm going to wait for a few people to come in and then we'll get started. Hello, Barbara. Welcome, welcome. I do see you, just not up on StreamYard yet. Just waiting for StreamYard to catch up. How is your morning so far? There you are, dear. Good morning. How are you doing? Got some new coffee. And it's actually pretty good. It's Keurig coffee. It's hazelnut from Folgers, and I actually like it. It's not as good as my Highlander grog, but it's still pretty good. All right, so we're just waiting for a few people to join. Let's see. I have a big announcement today, so I'm excited about that. And then I want to share with you guys a song that Tommy came across that it's very emotional, but very, very well put out, or very put together, and it's phenomenal. And can you guys hear me? I need to make sure because I cleaned out my computer, and sometimes it doesn't. When I do that, everything gets all conjumbled. So, oh, I gotta. Hello, Aunt Kelly. How are you doing? Got a big announcement. You might actually like it, Aunt Kelly. Let's see here. Facebook. Oops. Come over here. Oops. See, it's mornings are just crazy for me. Very crazy for me. Right. Put that in here. I gotta wait for a few more people to come in, Aunt Kelly, but you might like it. And then today too, they are doing a celebration of life for my adopted sister, who passed away at the beginning of October from stage 4 colon cancer. So I would also like to, do a moment of silence for her around 1 o'clock, which would be 12 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock their time. So, thank you. It is, it is very, very gray. My natural hair color is a dark red, and I like to lighten it up. It makes me feel lighter and happier when it's lighter, but my gray, you guys can't see it here, but this is all gray. And because I have the green screen on, it does not look gray. And then I have a white streak, and Tommy and I were actually talking about it this morning, about an hour ago, and I actually was going to wear my green wig today, but I listened to this song, which I'm going to share here in a little bit. I'm going to drop the link for everybody to check it out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go like me. I don't like the white strip that I have. I've had it since I was young, and it's one of the signs of trauma that I went through. And every time I see it, it's a trigger for me. So I do have a box of hair dye upstairs that it's called Raspberry. I might try it. I'm not sure. I hate dyeing my hair, but it's one of those things. It's just your face. Wait, what? Are you sick again? Your face is telling me you don't feel good. I do not feel good this morning. It's hello, Cajun Roots, Johnny. How you doing? Thank you. Um, I'm excited for my announcement. No, it's not about being sick or anything like that, although I do not feel well today. But that's nothing now. I never feel good. I do have a migraine starting, which really stinks. This weather change stuff is every time, every time. And so we did end up with snow this week. And ooh, there's the squeaking Tommy talks about. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you, Johnny. Yes, the what Johnny said is what I'm going to be talking about. I seen the new link for Monday. So yes, that's one of the announcements. Put your glasses on. You might be able to see, and your headache might go away. Yeah. In all actuality, I don't know. My eye prescription has changed. It's changing rapidly, so they don't help as much as they were. So I don't wear them. But I mean, they're bifocals. My glasses are, and they kind of stink. But I've been wearing bifocals since I was 11 years old. That's how messed up my eyes have been for so long. But yes, so the white streak is very fashionable. I see girls who go to the salon and they, purposely get that white streak in their hair. But the thing is, for me, it's a trigger, because of my past. And so I don't like it. Eventually, I think I'll come to terms with it, but it's so hard to, you know, to come to terms with it. But that's another thing that I'll be talking about today too, is with this song. Um, I wish StreamYard would catch up. Hopefully it didn't freeze. But Barbara said, I had a headache recently and discovered I was dehydrated. Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee, so it probably does contribute to that, being a little dehydrated. But there's water in coffee, and I've cut down on the creamer and the sugar in my coffee, so it's no longer super sweet. And so hopefully that'll bring down my sugars too. So hi GRKR, good morning. How is your wonderful Saturday? Okay. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing? I am always in a state of dehydration. Coffee is I don't know what that word is, takes away water. Oh man, I was good believing that, I was getting enough water. Thanks, guys and gals. Um, Coffee will dehydrate you. Oh man, that's sad because I love coffee. I used to drink it all the time. Now I only drink it a couple cups a day. So I'm cutting down on it. I'm cutting down on it slowly. JRKR says she's doing pretty well. That's awesome. Is Appleton opening up more now, or is it closing down again? And JRKR says she still needs the coffee. Oops. Drink your coffee, but then drink more water. Yeah, I don't like the taste of water. And I can't drink cold water. It's got to be room temperature. Cold water, I don't know. I don't like cold water. And I don't like warm water either. It's got to be, I don't know, JRK. I know that it was stopped, the ruling that he had before, but our governor, but I guess now he's, I don't know, put it somewhere into one of the courts. I don't know. It's so confusing. I'm so sick and tired of hearing all the stuff with it that I stopped following. I just asked Tommy if I need. Ooh. I drug out my light box. And it felt good to lift my mood. Ooh, a light box? Interesting. Very interesting. And I don't know if my daughter's watching or not, but Heather uses Mayo water flavor, no sugar. I will, let me find some paper and pen. I'm going to write that down. Get a new sheet. MIO water flavor. I wrote that down. That's very interesting. Everything seems to be the same right now. Oh, good, because what I was saying before, if everything goes all right, then we will be going to, I believe, Appleton, maybe. Either Appleton or the Dells for Jasmine's birthday at the end of the month. I'm hoping she's not watching, because that would suck, because it's supposed to be a surprise. Jarek Hare says, I drink those big bottles of flavored water at Walmart. Yeah, those are those the ones with the carbonation and stuff? Because the carbonation, like even soda, when I drink soda, the carbonation is weird. It's like a weird texture. So Barbara says, I use decaf and it still tastes like coffee without the problems with caffeine. Yeah, I need my caffeine though. Or I wouldn't be very functional at all. I mean, I'm barely functional as it is, but I'd really, really be very unfunctional. Hello, Mary. How are you doing, dear? Welcome, welcome. Hello, Peter. Oops. I drink Propel water. What is Propel water? I know I've heard of it, but I'll have to look into that. Is that like one of those fancy, expensive waters? Not much carbonation, it seems. I see that, Peter. You made it. You made it. Carbonation. I knew what you meant. All right, so I am going to make my announcement now, and then I'll make it again when more people join. As of today, this will be my last Saturday live for Mental Health Safe Place. I am going to be moving it to Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Me and Tommy did some research, and I wanted to move it to a day where it would help a lot more people, which I don't mind you guys at all. I love you to death. I am so appreciative of you guys being here with me every Saturday. But during the summertime, we tend to be really busy, and I don't want to have to reschedule. And so we've decided that I'm going to move it to Monday nights and see how that goes. Because I'd like to reach, as many people as possible. And then I found another group that during the week, let me pull them up. I am so slow at this stuff. I thought I had it up, but I guess I didn't, and I apologize. There's another group that started as well, doing a mental health live safe place, which I'm so excited, because it's bringing more awareness to mental health. And I went into their first one. Let me pull it up. because there's a lot of stuff on here. I listen to a lot of music. Here we go. Found it. So during the week, during the day, they're doing mental health talk, and it's the channel is Paper People 8 Band. I will drop that into chat. If you guys are not following him, please do so. This is the live that they did the other day. And, you know, if we can get more people, you know, to kind of talk about it and bring awareness to it, and it would be so great. And my auntie says, what did my auntie say? It's hot. Send me some of that snow. Is there a way we can send Aunt Kelly some snow?
Yeah, it might be water by then.
Okay, he said it. We might be able to, but it might be water by the time it gets to you. JRKR says, you can have any snow we get here, Kelly. It is about 30 degrees here, and a week ago it was 70. Yeah, and it's supposed to warm up here in Wisconsin, not to 70 again, but it's supposed to warm up to like the 40s, which is, you know, in the summertime, it's like, ooh, that's cold. During the wintertime, it's like, yeah, heat wave. Let's see. Hello, Jennifer Hayes. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, so they just started their first episode of mental health, mental health talk. And if we could get all of y'all to sub to him and show support, that would be amazing, and that would mean so much. And I would greatly appreciate that. And so again, on today is my last Saturday mental health live chat, but it's not going to be permanent. It's actually getting changed to Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So I hope you all can join me on that day as well. Barbara says, hi, Kelly. It's in Minnesota. It's cold, like instant air conditioning this time of year, right? For sure. Same with Wisconsin, though. Thank you, Peter. That's awesome. Mary said, we had a freeze overnight a few days ago. Today it is warm again. No wonder people get sick. Yeah, exactly. Dwayne says, hi, y'all. What the hell? Are you from this? I am. I was born in Florida. I've said y'all for a long time, Dwayne. A long time. Just now it's starting to come out on YouTube. And I've been talking to a lot of people in Florida, so it just kind of came out. Wait until I talk to a family member from Florida, and then I go live afterwards, because I end up with my little Florida accent going on. Especially the longer I talk to them. Hey, y'all. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about today. I never say that, by the way. It's okay, JRKR. Oh, wow. Not enough coffee yet. Maybe I'll start something with the North, you know? Hey, y'all. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, Tommy came across this song, and I'm going to butcher the gentleman's name, and that's just what I do, and I apologize to the gentleman. But his name is Misa, I think is how you say it. It is a very, very powerful song, and I listened to it, and I felt like he had reached into my head and pulled out so much, and because it's so hard for me personally to try to explain things that go on in my head because of my mental health. And it was like this guy, this gentleman, he went into my brain and pulled out what I tried to say. And the name of the song is called Repression. And it is a very, very powerful song. It made me cry, but it wasn't like a sad cry. It was like, oh my God, he understands. He's explaining what I wish I knew how to explain, if that makes any sense. And it was so wait, where'd it go? Okay, nope, where'd it go? It did not. Where'd it go? So I did put it in here. I don't know why it's not letting me share the link. Oh, there we go. All right, there it is. No, it's not called Awakening, Peter. It's called Repression. And what's that? Oh, okay. Tommy had to explain it to me. Sorry, Peter. Yeah, it's a very, I don't want to keep saying the same word over and over and over. So I'm trying to think of the right term that I want to use, or the right words I want to use. It's a very relatable song. And for me, it gives hope when, try not to cry. It gives hope where a lot of times you feel like there's no hope. And you are very, very welcome, Mary. It spoke to me in a way that, as Peter said, an awakening. It spoke to me, and it was amazing. Have a great day, JRKR. Thank you for joining us today. You have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, and I hope to see you on Monday night. And I'm trying to do this without breaking down and crying because it was so moving, so powerful, so amazing. And now I listen to Moccasin Creek, Walk Through Hell, and that is very uplifting for me, that song. But this song touched a very different part of me that I didn't even know existed. Good morning.
Hello. Oh, damn. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so I am explaining it right.
Yeah. What about the word impactful?
That's a good word. That's a very good word.
A lot of the time, I don't even want to try to explain it because feeling it is already exhausting. Just to experience, it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And so then trying to explain it when it sounds completely crazy and you know there's no logic to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like, why should it doesn't matter if I explain it.
Hi, Dwayne.
So that's the point I'm at. Is
It,
and
this
this is
song,
not coming from a place of self pity. This is just coming from a place of this crap is so old. I've been going through this for so many years. It's just the same old, same old. And I try to tell myself, that it's not serious and that it will pass. And I do what I can to keep balance.
yeah, exactly. Hello, Pick with Joy. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. And Peter is 100% right. Everyone will have a different, have different emotions with the song. But I felt that I needed to share this song because it's an amazing interpretation. And I hope I said this right. Of what, like, for me personally, what I go through, and for people who don't, struggle with mental health, I think it's a very good way to help them understand what goes on. And so I don't know how he did it. So I give him 100% mad props, 1,000 mad props for this song, because it makes me excited that somebody was able to take and explain it in a way that you could feel what they're going through. And like I said before, it was like he went into my brain and was able to pull out so much and be able to put it into words where I get lost with words trying to explain. And so it is a great song. And I listened to it before I went live this morning. So it's and again, I teared up because it speaks so loud. It is a very powerful song. And it was amazing. Again, I'm going to drop a couple links. So the first one I'm going to drop is Paper People 8 fan. They again are doing a mental health live on the channel, and I would like to have everybody support them as if at all possible. And then I'm going to drop the link to the name of the song, Free Depression. I want to drop that link again as well for anybody who has just joined us, so that they can, when they have a chance, they can listen to the song. And I'm also going to put both of those links down in the description after the live, so that people have it. There we go. It comes up weird on StreamYard than it does on YouTube.
Interesting.
Because I put it in the first time and it wouldn't share it. And so now it's on there. So it's sharing now finally. So, all right. So I'm going to drop a link into chat. Paper plate fan. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I wasn't sure. And I didn't want to completely butcher it, but I really enjoyed their live the other day when they were live. It definitely is a good place to go as well. And I'm so happy that they're also bringing light to mental health. As many people as we can get to do it, let's do it. Let's break that stigma, or stigma. Stigma. That's it. Stigma. That's the word I'm looking for. It came out wrong. And I dropped the link in chat for anybody who'd like to join this morning. I don't want to be on too long. I want to take a Tylenol and try to get rid of this migraine that's starting. I want to get it. He's from Joy's channel. Yes, very much so. Very much so, Jennifer. He is from Joy's channel. That's where he saw me before, was in Joy's channel. So, but because it's the first notification I've gotten from his channel. So it was like meant to be. I'm telling you, it was meant to be. Hello.
Good morning, ladies.
Hello.
How's everyone done this week?
Doing good.
It's been a week.
I agree with you. It's been a very trying week for me. I've been going through some rough stuff with some of my clients.
Uh-oh.
It happens. You know, it's not every day is not peaches and cream and everything is wonderful. You know, you gotta take the good days with the bad.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Rainbows and sunshine only exist in fairy tales.
I agree. It's been a very trying week, but I'm glad it's over. I have a couple of days to vent and release, and you know, that's the thing about being in the mental health world as a mental health specialist is you have to learn that no matter how much you want to help your clients, you've always got to rely on helping yourself too. You know, a lot of the peers and other entities, they burn themselves out because they get too wrapped up and they don't take time for themselves. So I have scheduled meditation time. I schedule time in my shop to, just get rid of anger and, because I fight with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress. So, sometimes certain words will trigger me and I have to hold it together when I'm with clients. And sometimes it can be difficult. They'll start yelling at you and screaming at you like it's your fault that they're having these problems. And
people behave that way?
yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I don't know. I guess I have a high standard for myself, and then sometimes I hear about things and it's like, you mean you like openly do that?
I literally had a client this week sit in front of me and scream at me for 15 minutes flat. I mean, literally just scream and yell at me and carry on. And I kept it together. And then at the 15-minute mark, she just said the wrong word and I just released. And I went, knock it off. Okay, pull up your big girl panties and stop this. You want to talk to me like an adult? We'll have an adult conversation. You want to talk to me like I'm some piece of dirt on the floor you're squashing into the ground? I'll pack the bag right now and I'll walk out. And she just kind of looked at me like, whoa. And I was like, hey, I come here to help you. I don't come here to be abused by you. If I want to be abused, I'll walk around in the world and get abused.
Yeah.
This is our safe zone. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you through your problem. And then when I went from my growling at her voice to back down to my monotone voice and my calming voice, the next thing she did was just looked at me and just burst into tears. And she goes, you know what? You're the last person I ever want to hurt. And I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you didn't hurt me. You just triggered me. Yeah. I said, that's a big difference. I've been yelled at by the best. And I said, I can only take it so long. And then when you use a certain phrase or a certain word, it will trigger me, and that's when I put it to an end. And she said, "Oh, can we talk now?" I was like, "Please?" And we ended up talking for another 45 minutes without any problem. I got her through. She was fine. And then I got up and she just looked me dead in the face with these puppy dog eyes and says, "Can I please have a hug?" And
Oh,
I said, "Absolutely. I always give hugs. Those are free." So I gave her a great big bear hug. And she just like nuzzled right into my chest and was tears rolling down her face. And I said, "Now, let's have a better week." And she goes, "I'm going to try." And I said, "Well, you can call me anytime." I walked out the door. I was like, I sat in my car for like 10 minutes before I could even turn it on and just go, oh,
Wusa time.
ah,
Yeah, I
Wusa.
bet.
my heart was racing. I could feel my anxiety through the roof. And then I come home and I get informed that all my grandchildren are coming this weekend. I have 6 children running through the house like banshees.
No
got one.
relax time for you.
I see one in the back.
Yeah, they're having snacks.
Oh, cute.
And the other ones, the boys, that are the most rambunctious. The girls aren't bad. It's the boys. You're really not supposed to be on the live. They just went out with grandma to go get water. I was like, I can go and talk to sane people and not banshees. I knew Kelly was on. I was like, I need Kelly. I need to go hang with her. Calm down.
Mary said that you were that woman's angel.
Thank you.
You were there for a reason to help her, and she needed that. What you did for her was very, very awesome.
Well, Kelly, I thank you. I want to thank you for allowing me to come on your show. I have become extremely popular since our last live. I have literally been asked to go on multiple live streams for mental health.
That's
That's
awesome.
Yeah, everybody says everybody says they love my voice. It's very calming.
It is very calming.
And I was like, I would be honored as long as it doesn't conflict with Kelly's live, because I try to go on there every week. And they were like, no, we meet on this day. And then the other one said, oh yeah, I meet on this day. And I was like, ooh, okay. Yes, I'm on Emily's Conway show the
I
9th.
love her.
Yes, I'm on her show on the 9th. She's doing a question and answer period with me.
That's great.
Yeah, December 9th. I do believe it's at 8 o'clock.
Yep. I actually, when I was sitting down finally to figure out which day I wanted to switch to, I actually contacted her to make sure that, it wasn't going to conflict with her schedule, because I absolutely love watching her channel. She's one of my faves.
Yeah.
Pixie's name is Destiny. Oh.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hayes. Yeah, my name is Destiny.
Where did I get Kelly?
My Aunt Kelly was in here a little bit ago, so I was constantly saying her name.
Oh. I guess I have my wife on my mind today, because she's under extreme stress with all these kids.
Well,
but it was her. Oh, wait a minute. It was her idea. It wasn't mine. It was hers.
But do you know what they say when you call somebody the wrong name?
It is okay. I am the most horrible person in the world with names.
Oh yeah, I'm horrible with it too.
Unless you put your real name up here, I will not know who you are.
Yeah,
I will call you Shamrock. I will call you Pixie.
I have sticky notes, little post-it notes with people's names.
That's a great idea.
Remember.
Dwayne has a whole database.
Holy cow!
That does
Yeah.
not surprise me.
He has their their real name, their username, their whatever information. Yeah, he created a whole database when we were doing the auction. That is so Dwayne, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't surprise me at all.
It's so funny. You're the only one on all the lives that don't call me Punisher. You call me Peter. Ever since you started calling, ever since you started calling me my real name, I get a million hell. You must have like a lot of lurkers because a lot of YouTubers that I run into on other channels, they all go, "Hey Peter, hey Peter, hey Peter," and I'm like, "How do you know my first name?" And the only place I use it, my real name is here.
Maybe. I mean, people come and go throughout the whole
Yeah.
life, and that's cool. I know a lot of times that if we touch on a subject that it's a trigger for somebody, they will leave, and that is 100% okay. I don't ever want anybody to feel that they have to stay. If something is upsetting for them, they can go take their breather, do what they got to do to make sure that mentally they're okay. Because this is a safe place. We don't always talk mental health, but if you think about it, even just doing a hangout and just talking about whatever, 9 times out of 10, it is something that somebody is struggling with. And so it may not sound mental health-ish, but it is. So and that's why I like doing this. And that's so, like I said, one of the reasons why I changed the day to Monday is Tommy helped me. Thank God for Tommy and his Google King skills, because I typed in, what day of the week is it harder for people who suffer from mental health, depression, all that, and it's Mondays.
Yeah.
And so Monday night at between, what was it, 8 and 9? Between 8 and 9 p.m. is when people struggle the hardest with mental health. Not
because
only suicide.
their Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they don't have the support they might have during the week. Like they have their best friends they see and they hang out and they talk. And then, weekends, a lot of people, they have their own families, their own life. They really don't want to be bothered with you. I mean, my hard cases are Mondays. I mean, I deal with them on Monday because I know that when I walk in there, I'm either going to run into a happy-go-lucky person ready to sit down and go to work, or I'm going to walk into crying, carrying on, and nobody loves me and nobody cares. And I'm like, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be here.
See, and initially I was going to do it on Wednesday night at 8 p.m., but then I was like,
oh, you would lose a lot of people. That's a busy night.
Yeah, and I was, well, and it's not so much that I was thinking, I was like, no, I need to do it on a day that, people struggle the most. And so Tommy did help me with that research, and I'm very thankful for that, because I typed in the same thing he typed in, and for some reason my Google didn't like me, but it liked him. His Google likes him. Google doesn't like me.
Was he on his account?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that, yeah.
Mary, I don't have a link, but my email is up there, and you can contact me anytime. And if you need to talk to me in a live, I can always pull up a StreamYard and we can do a private chat.
She's pretty good at remembering everyone's name. Wow. Girl, I'm
jealous.
Jennifer is amazing. She is like the #1 mod on like so many channels, and she remembers every single person, and she always says hi. I mean,
no matter what.
I feel guilty if I'm in there and I have missed her, and I go, oh my gosh, Jennifer's in here. I didn't say hi, and I'll immediately stop whatever I'm doing, and I'll go in and say, hi, Jennifer.
My
Yeah,
daughter.
she is on it. I mean, you won't. I tell you, you won't have a troll get in your show if she's
Right.
modding.
Oh,
She is that fast.
oh yeah, and links, man. I don't know how she does it. She says she does it on her phone, but let me tell you, she is fast at dropping links.
Yeah.
She's so. I have to sit there and like if I'm on my phone, like literally, if I'm on my phone and somebody says hi to me, and because I'm horrible at spelling, spell check is my best friend. Let me tell you. So I sit there and I try to type, so I'll have to downsize it and then look at the spelling and then bring it back up. And, that's how I have to type people's names in. If I don't know their real name or a nickname for them, I have a hard time, spelling. It takes me a long time to spell somebody's name out so that they can see that I said hi to them. And that's why I always do hello Jello all, because a lot of people, I can't spell their YouTube names. And if I don't know their
It's
real
so
name,
funny. You can find Jennifer almost on every channel, even if she's only there for a minute. She
yep.
does. She'll zip in. She'll say hi to every single person in the room, and then poof, she's gone. And then she's off modding for. You'll go to another channel and she'll be modding on another channel, and it's
Yeah.
like, wow, girl, do you
And she
ever
does
take a
it
break?
all from her phone. Mad props, girl, mad props. My daughter, holy cow, my daughter, anytime she sees Jennifer in a chat, or Jennifer comes onto her channel while she's live, that girl lights up like a light bulb. She gets so excited. Now she's happy to see everybody, but she just gets, for some reason, Jennifer just has this spot in her heart that she gets super, super excited when she sees Jennifer in chat, especially in one of her lives.
She's an amazing woman. I mean, I couldn't keep up with her. There's no way. She is just like, bam, she's there. She's modding. Then I think she takes a 10-second water break and she's in another auction modding for that one. And I'm like,
Yeah,
when do you breathe, girl?
I know, right? Barbara said she found a video on Facebook of Nadia Holt Weber, non-traditional pastor, about anxiety based on Luke 3. She shared a new viewpoint. If you could get or find that, Barbara, and share the link in chat, that would be awesome. I'd be very interested to find that or watch it.
If you go on any channel and you ask who do you want to mod for you, the first word comes out of every single person's mouth is Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, Betty Webb, she's awesome. Kristen, I can't think of her last name, but Kristen is, oh, she is awesome too. I think they got their own. They should open their own school for modding. They would probably make $1 million.
Right. Let me see if I can find this link, because Barbara said, "Mary, I am rotten with technology. I don't know how to drop a link. I'm sure you could search it. So let me see if I can find it real quick." I think I found her actual channel. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Found it. Let me see if this is.
I think Jennifer already did.
See? Thank you, Jennifer. See, I told you. Jennifer's like, bam, right on it. Thank you.
There it is.
There it is. There we go. Yeah, I have that up now, and I'm going to watch that a little bit later, but I do have it. Actually, I should save it so I don't Save.
We'll have to do the new song for Jennifer. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is.
Right? There. I have that saved. Okay. So, oh, my computer just went wonky on me. Telling you. So yeah, so I'm gonna drop the 2 links again that for anybody new who's come in, if you guys could please follow this gentleman here. Would love to give them as much support as possible for their new weekly mental health chat. And then
I sent subs 2 seconds after you put the link out.
And then I'm going to put the song Repression up here so that you guys have a link to that as
You
well.
can
Again, both of those will be down in the description. Actually, I wonder if I'm able to. Oh, I might be able to do that now.
You can do more on the computer than I can.
Well, so Tommy got me a really good machine. And it makes me very happy. But he keeps telling me that I need to get, what is it called? An SSD drive, which will make it even faster.
Yep.
My laptop is in bad shape. It's way slow.
Do this. Is doing a multiple health so that one, and what's really nice about other channels doing this, talking about mental health is it's a good feeling to see other people talking about it. Very good. I need a new computer badly. Jennifer Hayes needs a new computer badly. Jennifer Hayes does. Are you looking for a laptop, Jennifer, or a desktop? If you want, you can message me at theshamrockpixie@gmail.com.
Yeah, the one I'm on now is brand new. I just got the new all-in-one HP, and boy, is it fast.
Yeah, I had an all-in-one and I loved it. It was touchscreen. I think it was HP. I absolutely love. Jennifer says mine's already and there's hardly anything on it, and I can't delete any of the stuff that came on it. Frustrating. Is it a Chromebook or something? Tommy's asking Jennifer. Tommy's very curious on that. So am I.
Well, I'd like to help her out if I can for all she does.
Yeah, Tommy would like to help you out, Jennifer, for all that you do for everybody. So if you could let us know, is it a Chromebook? And then please email me. HP Stream. He's going to look that up.
It's similar to a Chromebook.
Okay. Yeah, see, and I don't know anything about that stuff. Tommy's the computer guy. It's a tablet with a keyboard built on. Okay.
You're having serious reverb on your mic.
Oh, is your sound up, Heather?
How's that?
Better.
It went away.
Okay. You know, this is the only time I ever have is an issue, so I forget. I have to put a post-it to remind me.
Heather, is that the Star Trek clock behind you?
Yes.
Okay. I
What?
like that.
What?
I,
Was that
I
something you would not have expected about me?
no, I actually had one, and I lost it in the divorce,
Oh
and
no!
I cry every time I see one because I used to have that clock like right in front of me all the time, and I loved it.
And
It disappeared with
Which email?
pretty much 90%
I
of
have
my
to send
stuff.
it to.
yeah, my daughter gave that to me. That's the only
Cool.
Star Trek thing I have out right now.
I had that exact same one.
And yeah, I don't know. I really had a little bit of Star Trek stuff, but it's in a box. So yeah, that's my only.
Back in the day, I used to be a very big Trekkie, and I actually one of the Comic Cons I went to, they actually had the actual deck all set up on the stage,
Awesome.
and you got to go sit in the captain's seat with all the original Star Trek. Leonard
Wait. So
Nimoy.
you went to the San Diego?
No, this was in New York.
Okay. We can't call it Comic-Con here, but we do have a they call it Fan X. They didn't do it this year. And if I may add, my son is the one who is in charge of setting it up, but
Wow.
for Salt Lake City. But yeah, I've gone a couple of times. I don't know. That being around that many people with all that energy going on, it makes me anxious. So, like, a 3-day pass is a waste for me because I can go for, like Thursday afternoon and I'm good.
I've
Yeah,
never been to one, and I want to go to one.
I used to have issues when I went to the Comic Cons. What I would do is find a quiet spot, sometimes even just the bathroom for like
They
15,
they
20
have a
minutes.
designated place at the Salt Palace. Yeah, they have the
Mm.
quiet room.
I have gone to San Diego Comic Con though.
Oh, very good. You
God,
have to come to Salt Lakes sometime.
back in the let's see, late '90s, I
Well,
went there a couple times. I was invited.
when the guys here decided, it was, this guy's like, hey, we're going to put one on here. And they started at one venue. And then before they even got very far, they were like, they had to move to Salt Lake to the biggest one we have in Utah. And then, yeah, the first year, was a little bit of, it was chaotic. And what was it? Was it like 50,000 people showed up in one day and they didn't have the
Yeah,
capacity?
they didn't have the capacity for it.
Yeah, but
Luckily, luckily, I was there with some of the people that were running it, so I didn't have a problem getting in. But I know some of my friends that had actually flown it all the way out there. I think it was the second day they couldn't get in,
yeah, yeah.
and they were trying to move people along. They were trying to be nice about it, but they were like, "If you're just hanging out, could we ask you to maybe hang out outside if you're waiting for a particular panelist, so that we can get other people in?" And they refused. They were like, "No, because you're going to get us outside, and then that panel's going to come up, and then and we have passes for that panel, and you're going to tell us, oh no, I'm sorry, we're at capacity. We can't do any more people inside." So they were refusing, and I was like, "Hey, you don't need me here. I'll leave. It's only one, but you can bring one in." And they were like, "Well, we appreciate that." I
They
was
can
like,
make it a 5-day rather than a 3-day event.
"Mm-hmm."
The only problem is you get to Saturday night, because we do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday here. You get to Saturday night, and the whole Salt Palace smells so bad.
It does. It smells like armpits.
To put it nicely.
It does.
Do they not know what a shower is or something?
Actually, so I got talking with a vendor, not at a Pinner's, the Pinner conference, and she told. So this was local author hits all the main events, during normal times, and she said that the only time she's ever had a contract that included that she would bathe every day and use deodorant was the Comic-Con contract. And I'm like, why doesn't that surprise me? A lot of atypical people are drawn to Comic-Con, and a lot of atypical people don't really give thought to bathing daily.
If you want to have a mental health party at Comic-Con, you could fill a room.
Oh, you could feel the entire place is, just people who don't feel like they fit, and you go there, and people do feel like they fit because they're around other people who feel the same way.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't call it OCD, but I literally have to shower a lot.
I bathe every day.
I shower every other day. I shave 3 times a week. This is my weekend, so I don't shave on the weekend. I let it grow, and then Sunday night I take my shower, shave, get ready for Monday, because Monday is going to be busy, and then I shower and shave again on Wednesday because I know that day is busy.
I couldn't imagine what it would be like to feel like showering is not okay. Like, I can't.
I'll send my son to live with you.
Oh, I have a boy that doesn't like to shower.
Jeremy,
I have clients that I have to actually tell them to shower.
Yeah,
I go in and I sit there. I'm literally like putting my hand like here and just kind of like leaving it there the whole time because it is bad. And then I finally set up a schedule for them where they have to shower at least 3 times a week, at the least. Because they'll sit there for an entire week and not shower.
Yeah.
And it is
that's
bad.
How our son is. We literally have to tell him, hey, dude, you reek. Shower now. But you have to tell him to go to the shower and take a shower and use soap and wash your hair.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'm like, do I need to put a checklist in the shower for you to remind you of everything that needs to? Yeah, Jeremy can step out of the shower and still stink. And the worst part is he has super sensitive skin. He has such sensitive skin that he has to use baby shampoo. And this kid has more hair than what any 4 people need. And so it takes a lot. But I'm
so looking forward to shower night tonight with all my grandchildren. The boys don't know what a towel is. They come running out of the shower with their clothes on, completely still dripping wet. I'm just like, are you ready for this? We have 6 kids. We have to shower tonight, and I'm gonna lose my mind. And she was like, I know it's gonna be. I'm sorry. I know this is very stressful for you. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I love my grandchildren. They are wonderful. I wouldn't think of not having them in my life, but the way they're raised is not the way I would raise children.
Yeah. It's a different generation.
And they don't have any discipline. They don't know the word walk, and they don't know the word quiet. You don't need to scream at each other in the same room.
They're children, of course they do.
I have headphones on yesterday, had my music playing, okay, so that I could kind of drown them out, and was reading a book, and I was hearing them through my headphones, listening to Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Not a good idea. I finally just sat there and I'm trying to listen to the song. Stay calm, don't yell, relax, breathe. I'm doing everything. And
Uh,
then finally I went, enough! You're in the same room. Talk to each other in a calm voice. And
well,
it's
that's
kids.
crazy.
It's kids. So one talks, the other one's got to talk louder to talk over that one. Then the next one's got to jump in. And it's funny, the tiniest one, who is like 3 foot nothing, is the loudest.
Well, we
She
have
lets
to become the loudest. I'm a youngest child. We have to be loud so we can be
mm,
heard.
So,
but she does a screech that just
oh,
goes right to your bone. It's like and you're like, okay.
the only issue we have with our daughter is she didn't talk until she was 4. Okay. She grunted. She did have some words. Just she didn't like to use them. She liked to point and grunt. Tommy comes into the picture, right? And he tells her, "You need to talk. I'm not responding to pointing and grunting. And use your words." And now she doesn't shut up. She talks all the time. And it's usually about absolutely positively nothing. He just
Jeremy,
That's
yeah, Jeremy's good at that one, and he was a
that's
late talker.
Georgia. Georgia talks about if Kelly and I are having a conversation, she feels she's left out. She's 11, but she's been doing it her entire life that she's grown up with us. Where Kelly and I will be having a
uh-oh.
serious conversation. Georgia will interject a no nonsense, no word, no nothing, and she will just start a conversation all for herself. And it's like, Georgia, that was very rude. Grandma and I were having a conversation. And she just looks at me like, well, I had a point too. Alrighty then. Well, you have the floor. Give me your point. And she sits there and looks at you going, uh, um,
Well, the
I,
one
for-
that's lost now.
I forgot my point. Ah,
Yeah,
it's on.
Jeremy.
She lost it.
Jeremy didn't. Let's see. He really didn't start talking until he was about 4, and even then, we had him tested when he was 6, and they said that his verbal skills were a preschooler, but his comprehension was a 9-year-old, and so that was challenging. But yeah, he talks often. He talks loud, and I feel bad, but I can tune him out. And but I have to be able to tune him out for sanity reasons. And and it's because he'll be like, "Are you listening?" I'm like, "No."
Mm. Or I got that. No problem.
Yep, yep.
Okay, real quick, it's a little after 12, and my adopted sister's celebration of life has just started in Florida. And so I was wondering if we could give a moment of silence for her since she passed away 1 month ago from stage 4 colon cancer. So we could give a moment of silence for her. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everybody.
Amen. Yes, I'm a Catholic.
Okay. No judgment. Free zone.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I just messaged Mom and sent her a whole bunch of hearts and to let her know that I'm thinking of her and the family. So since I'm not able to be down there, I wanted to do this for them. So thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. It's it's a struggle for her, for my adopted mom. She struggles with mental health as well, and she, I've been keeping in touch more now than before, just because I know that this is so hard for her, and so I send her, I love you, thinking of you, hearts, and just so that she knows. And so, but it's hard. It's a struggle. It really is when you lose somebody. So, but Wusa moment. Okay. Usually you got to rub your ears for Wusa, but I didn't really want to rub my ears at the moment, but I ended up doing it anyway. So yeah, it's crazy.
I have to say, your daughter's videos are getting very good. Tommy must be coaching her very well.
Yeah. Hello, B. Davy 69. Hello. Welcome. Oh, I gotta cough. I don't want to do that live. Holy cow. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I just want her to know that I'm here. Ooh, what was that? Did
Hello,
you guys hear that? Big bang.
How are you today?
I heard a big bang.
I heard it.
I did too. What do you mean?
Huh. That was weird. I don't know what that was, but it's from upstairs.
Uh-oh. Ezra's cooking again.
No, she's not cooking. She's not allowed to cook unless she's supervised. Unless, other than baking.
Are you talking about me?
I am talking about you.
I'm going to say hi, but I'm not going to show my face.
Just use your hand, please. You're still in your pajamas, so no.
Hi. If you're wondering what that loud thunk was,
yes, everybody was wondering.
That was a bag of candy. It slipped out of Joseph's hand.
Why does Joey have a bag of candy?
Nothing bad. He was putting it back.
Oh, and it fell?
Uh-huh.
I bought, okay, so Walmart had the big bags of candy corn, and they were 75 cents a bag, so I bought a couple bags, big bags, and it's like 3 or 4 pounds of candy, maybe 5 pounds of candy, and that's what that big thud was. He slipped out of his hands. He was putting it back, and so
those are heavy.
Yeah. So B. Davy said that I saw you on Paper Plate the other day. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Raven, hello. Thank you for joining. For everybody just joining, I want to let you know today is the last Saturday Mental Health Live, but we will be moving to Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time.
And if you're subscribed to her, just to let you know, it automatically pops up for the Monday Live.
Oh, cool.
I've already set the reminder.
Okay. I understand why you chose Monday, because why did you decide to change it from Saturday to begin with?
Because we get busy on the weekends,
Makes
and
sense.
so this is at 11 a.m. Central Time for us, and which is kind of like in the middle of the day,
Yeah.
and so not a lot of stuff is able to get done while I'm live, and everybody's going to kind of be quiet a little bit so that it's not echoing through the computer and the mic and everything. And so with the weekends being busy, it was easier to move to a different time. Plus, I wanted to be able to reach a lot more people if possible, to let them know they're not alone. And with doing the research, it's Monday nights are really hard on people. And so if I can reach more people to let them know that they're not alone, maybe that'll help them in the end, which in turn will make me feel better that I'm able to help. And that's what I want to do. That's why I started this, was to help as many people as possible. And a lot of people are busy on Saturdays, even during the week.
Saturdays, yeah, busy day.
So, I mean, not everybody wants to drop what they're doing. And I'm greatly appreciative everybody who's in chat. I'm not talking about you guys at all. But,
You want to reach more people.
I want to reach more people, and I want to bring everybody that comes in on Saturdays. I'd like for them to come with me to Mondays.
Sure.
And so
chances are more likely I will be showered by Monday evening than Saturday morning.
we'll be more awake.
I'll be clean shaven at least.
And because me, I just kind of roll over, hit the button, and there you are on Saturdays. So
yeah, and
I literally just jumped out of the shower, came to my computer, turned it on, put here, can't.
Yep, I was thinking I should go shower first. Speaking of showers, and I'm like, I'll do it after. No one can smell me.
That's what I'm doing. Like, go after.
We don't smell the vision yet.
Okay, and all of the towels are down in the dryer, so I haven't actually asked Dwayne to bring them back up, but I keep thinking I need to ask him to bring them up.
Also, during this time on what's going on with the pandemic and everything, and then just people being lonely. The suicide rate is also higher on Monday nights. Depression,
higher through the holidays.
Anxiety is higher. And so I want to try to be there, try to see if we can help as many people as possible. Like, Saturdays are great. I love the people that come into my panel. I love the people that come into my chat. And, and this is pretty cool. I'm at 754 for subs. And it is amazing how many people actually want to hear me talk. How many people actually, have subbed to me. And I'm grateful for each and every single one of them. Because when I started this, let me tell you, I was happy if I got just a few people that would sub to me and be like, oh, yay, I got my little click, but now it's, for me, I feel it's more important. I can't focus on me 100%. I feel like, and this is a trial because I want to see if, what will happen with it, moving it to Monday nights. I'm hoping, and I feel really good about it. And I think that for me personally, I think it's going to put me in a better place. I'm hoping, I'm free pressing. Now I can't even say the word. you know, it just, I think it'll help, and I think it'll be worth it. Um, Raven says, "You're a great person, Des. Why wouldn't people want to sub? I've watched you grow." Well, thank you. You know, but this is something inside my head. You know, when I started my channel, it didn't start out as a mental health channel. It started out as throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see what sticks. Now, Rules for Rebels, I don't know if you guys know who he is. His name is Johnny or Jonathan. I watched him. He was like a big YouTuber for me. Okay. Like I loved watching anything that he put out. We went to Chicago. What was it? Ecom Chicago. I always mess it up. I apologize. For Tommy with eBay and everything, and for reselling, I should say. And I got to meet him in person. Let me tell you, he is so kind. He is awesome. And he encouraged me to start my channel.
That's cool.
And I was like, because we were outside, and most of you know that I do smoke, and so does Tommy. Cigarettes, nothing else, just cigarettes. Okay.
You know, that's kind of changing now. You know, you have to excuse the cigarettes, but not worry about the weed anymore.
Right. And so,
Yep. Gonna be legal in New York next year.
Awesome.
I can't wait till it's legal here.
New Yorkers need that.
So, okay, so me and Tommy went outside for a smoke. We were on a little smoke break during Ecom Chicago, and he came outside. And me and Tommy were talking, and I grabbed Tommy's arm, and I'm like this. I'm like, you know who that is? And he's like, who? And he pointed at him, and he just came over and started talking with us. No big deal. And I was like, frozen, because I knew who he was. I knew that he was a nice person, but like he was the very, very first YouTuber I ever met. And he has a lot of subscribers. Okay.
You were starstruck?
I was starstruck. I ain't gonna lie. I tried to pretend I was cool. Yeah, not so well. It didn't work out as well as I was hoping. Okay? And so I just kind of was like, and he kind of looked at me. I probably looked like, I don't know. I probably didn't look very smart to him. Because I was just like, so Tommy and him were talking up, just talking majorly, and he actually didn't even know about Ecom Chicago until the first day. And he was like, I'm going to go check it out and see what it's about. And so I got to meet him, and he did. He was like, started talking about YouTube, and I'm like, you're a YouTuber. When I got my voice, I was like, you're a YouTuber. And he's like, yes, I am. I'm like, you're Rules for Rebels. And he's like, yes, I am. And I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome. And I got pictures with him. I'll explain the pictures here in a moment. So he hung out with us the rest of the time that we were there. It was like a 3-day convention. So he hung out with us, and it was so awesome. And I got to know him.
You felt like you were hanging out with a celebrity.
I did. I felt like I was hanging out with celebrity. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, he is just like everybody else, which in my mind, I had to remember that he was just a normal person. And so Tommy brought up the fact that I had started YouTube, and he gave me great advice. He says, even though you don't know what you want your channel to be, he's like, what you need to do is you need to take a whole bunch of content, throw it out there, and see what sticks. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tried reselling. I was the face of the bargain effect. Okay. When I first started, I was the face of the bargain effect. I went on interviews, and I felt so dumb because I had no idea what I was talking about. I ain't gonna lie. I had no idea what I was talking about. Tommy would coach me, and I would just repeat what he said, and I didn't understand what I was saying, but I was like the face of it, because he was like, well, he's like, if I become the face, I won't, it just a pretty girl being the face of a business, that brings more people in.
Don't like me 'cause I'm brutally honest.
Yeah. And and Tommy didn't know how people would feel about him because he's so brutally honest about everything. Okay. And so anyway, oops, I backed up too far. Anyway, I finally looked at Tommy because I was tired of not understanding the questions that people would ask me for reselling. I didn't understand percentages. I didn't like reselling is just not my thing. I'm going to be 100% honest. And most people know this. Reselling, I'm not a reseller. That's not my thing. I support Tommy in it. I help him where I can, but I'm just not a reseller. Okay. And so I looked at Tommy one day and I said, I'm no longer the face of the bargain effect. He kind of looked at me and said, you need to be the face of bargain effect because it's your thing. You understand what they're saying. You know what they're talking about. I feel like a complete idiot when I'm in an interview and I don't understand and I have to mute so you can answer it so I can repeat what you said. Not doing it no more. I don't want to play telephone. No. Mm-mm. And so, that's when Tommy finally stepped out as the bargain effect on YouTube. And then the whole spleen thing happened. And there were so many people that came out of the woodwork to support us, to help us, to be a shoulder to lean on. Anything that we needed, people were there for us. And I was comfortable before then just going in and saying hi to everybody. And so this was between the time I said, no more bargain. I'm no longer the face of bargain effect. I'm just going to be a supporter to everything, and so that's what I did. I went in, wished everybody a great day, said hi, just did me. I was comfortable doing that. Yes, I was still doing lives, still doing hangouts, stuff like that, but it was just hangouts. I didn't have to be super smart to be in a hangout, and I'm not saying I'm dumb, so don't take it that way. I just didn't have the pressure anymore of looking like I knew what I was talking about. And it was so nice. So then the spleen stuff happened, and I, within a couple months of that, I rapidly went downhill. And yes, I was going in and I was, still saying hi to everybody, but nobody really knew what I was struggling with. So Tommy one day looked at me and said, you need to find a channel that you can relate to and get out of this funk. I'm like, okay. So he sat with me for a few hours and we looked on YouTube to find a safe place for me to go and just listen, to relate to other people. There wasn't. There was a video here, a video there of people talking about their anxiety, or it was doctors and counselors that were talking. I didn't feel comfortable with the doctors and the counselors because they have no idea what it is to struggle each day. Okay. Watching these videos, I was just like, nope, not comfortable, not comfortable, not comfortable. So Tommy turned around, looked at me. He's like, there is not a place where somebody can go and just hang out, feel safe, and open up about what they struggle with each day. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. A video here and there of somebody saying, yeah, I struggle with anxiety and this is what I go through. And then they leave it. There's nothing else. That doesn't help when it's not constant, if that makes sense. And so I put on my channel, I wasn't thinking when I came up with the name, Coming Out of the Closet. Let me tell you, I had a lot of people in that chat. I was talking about opening up about my mental health. Was never thinking what people were asking in the chat. And I was told, you need to change the title of that. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to. But it brought people in. It brought a lot of people in. And it's still in the description, but it's the title is it's named differently. Okay. But I didn't realize about that. You know, I wasn't, that was the last thing on my mind, coming out of the closet. I didn't know anything about clickbait. Let me tell you, nothing. I ought to, you know, me personally, coming out of the closet, I am opening my closet doors and I'm sharing with you something very personal about myself. Not the other thing. So it was very clickbaity. I didn't realize it. I didn't know about clickbait. I didn't understand clickbait. Now it's a whole different story. Okay. So I came out, I talked about my mental health. I had a lot of supporters. And that's what stuck. And I've been doing it.
Which is what matters.
Which is what matters. Now, we do have people in chat that were talking, and I wasn't trying to ignore anybody. B. Davies says, it's such an important subject. Like you said, the pandemic and now the holidays make all the anxiety and issues magnified. It does. It really does. Like our governor actually is telling us we should not be celebrating our holidays with our family.
We're at $50 fines for going into public without masks here.
Even if you are medically exempt?
Our governor has put down a law that in New York, you cannot have more than 10 people in your home for the holiday. And people have researched it and said that the governor does not have that authority, and to tell the governor to go take a flying leap.
And I can see encouraging people, sure, but
see, it's not a law here. It's not a law here, but here they're recommending and they have these mandates out, but they can't force people to do something like this. I mean, here this is my personal opinion, not other people's personal opinions. You know, if a business won't allow you in there without a mask, that's their choice. That's their business. They can
the refusal to the right to refuse service to anyone.
Exactly. And I respect that. I respect that. I've had, like, I went into the bank the other day because I ended up with a charge on my account, and I was like, whoa, wait, hold on. It was a surcharge thing. And I had a bunch of issues with my other bank account, so they had to close that one because somebody hacked into our PayPal, well, Tommy's PayPal.
We've had that happen a couple of times.
Yep. And so they actually, I mean, these people were like spending a lot of money or trying to spend a lot of money on my debit card for my
And you don't have a lot of money there.
I'm sorry, but my clothes are thrift store clothes. I'm happy with that. I'm very satisfied with that. I don't mind telling people and sharing with people that my clothes are from the thrift store. You know?
What do you think I'm wearing firsthand right here?
Somebody went online and tried to buy $5,000 worth of high-end clothes on my card. The bank was like, nope, we know that's not her. And
We've seen her come into this bank. She ain't got no high-end stuff.
You've got Goodwill, Nordstrom's.
Not even Nordstrom, just all Goodwill, Practical Sense, stuff like that. And so they just like put a kibosh on it,
Good.
Whatever. But so we had a lot of issues with it. So I went in there and I was like, and she was like, she didn't even really look up. She just kind of glanced up a little bit and she's like, ma'am, I need you to have a mask on. And I said, I'm medically, oh yeah, that's right. I always forget you're medically exempt. She's like, but I should remember this now. You think I would remember this? And I'm like, it's okay. And I was like, so we did our banking business. Only place that I have where I am completely done with this place is the hospital in our town. They have rude people. They have it's BS. It is absolute BS. I went in to pick up my prescription because that's where our pharmacy is in the hospital, in the clinics area. And the guy working screamed and hollered at me for not having a mask. Said, I'm medically exempt. Well, you're not coming in without a note from your doctor saying you're medically exempt. And just kept yelling at me. So I left. My anxiety, PTSD, all of that. It was overload. Okay. I called Tommy crying. Said, I need my medicine, but they won't let me in. He's like, why? I said, because I can't wear a mask. And he's like, well, that's crap. He's like, you're medically exempt. They're telling me I have to have a note. So I get a note. Go back in. I ended up getting Tommy. Tommy came back, with me. He went and got my medicine. There was a girl working at the desk by the time we got back, because I went and picked him up, came back after filling him in, and he was going to snap on the guy. He's like, no, you don't talk to people that way. Everybody that was there was staring at me. I felt this big. I felt horrible. I left in tears. I couldn't believe they even have somebody working there like that. I get a note, go back to pick up my some more medicine that I had, or I needed to get. And I showed them my note and they still refused to let me in there to pick up my medication.
Wow.
And so I had to have Tommy go back in and get it. Come to find out, neither one of them told me that all I would have had to do was call the pharmacy, let them know I was in the parking lot, and they would have brought me my medication. They would have taken my card or my money, whichever one it was, and they would have came out and they would have brought me my medication, my receipt and everything. Neither one of them told me that. So I had to disturb Tommy twice to get medication that simply could have been avoided by them just telling me, hey, we can't have you in the building without a mask on. I would have respected that. And them saying, if you need your medication, just call the pharmacy and have them come out. They will be glad to come out and take your money and bring you your meds. It would have been fine, but that's not how they went about it. That is not how they went about it. And it was rude and horrible. And I did. My anxiety, my PTSD, my anxiety, my depression, my PTSD, and my fear of people amplified 1,000 times when he did that to me. I have a hard enough time dealing with men in a general. And now I'm going to have one scream and holler at me like that. And flashbacks were horrible. They were horrible. And it was the worst experience I've ever had. My insurance refuses to have any tests done at that hospital now. I was supposed to have a CAT scan to find out what was going on with the lump in my stomach before I had my surgery. My insurance refused to cover any treatments there. I ended up having to drive to Stevens Point to get my CAT scan done, and it was awesome. Marshfield, they knew, which is the medical system that I'm in, is Marshfield Medical Clinics and Hospital. And I told them, I said, is it going to be a problem? I am medically exempt. Oh, yeah, we already have the note in your records. Because that's where my doctor's through, my regular doctor's through Marshfield. And she actually left our clinic and hospital here in town and went to Marshfield. We followed, because that's how much I trust my family doctor. And they always get rid of all the good doctors, and I was done with that. I probably have gone through 6 or 7 doctors at this clinic in town in 5 years. And I wasn't going to lose another one, so we followed her. And so it was, she already had it. She had my note all filled out for me. She put notes in my medical records. And so as soon as I called, the stress of not being able to wear a mask and getting treated like I did at the hospital, as soon as I told them, started to tell them that I couldn't wear a mask, they were cool. They were awesome. They made me feel comfortable, and they calmed me down all at one time, which is really hard to do. And so I went in, they handed me a tissue and said, if you could try to put that over your face, like this, at least it's something. But as soon as they handed me, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And she's like, just go. It's okay. We got you. And I'm like, and I love people like that. I love people like that who are so understanding and have that compassion for their patients. I love it. What did you say, Dwayne? I am not the face of Mothership Products, more like the ass. Oh, Dwayne.
That's so funny. When we started our business, specialtysomething.com, it's like my wife does all the work. She prints the shirt, she bags them, and I do the shipping, but she does the bagging and everything. Does awesome presentation. When we open your box, you've got quality.
Yeah.
And we do the hats and the mugs and you name it. And then she does all her handcrafted, handmade jewelry. And it's so funny. It's like, I paid for everything, but it's your business. Why don't you go on and have a YouTube channel and show how you make the stuff and all this other stuff? And she was like, no, you're the face. I'm behind the scenes. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, either way, I don't know how to market. You can market ice cubes to Eskimos. I don't know how you do it. And I was like, it's fairly simple. And she goes, for you, for not for
I tell
me.
Poppy that all the time. It's easier for you because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I do the printing part of the business. I do the mugs, the shirts, decals, stuff like that. So I know where she's coming from. I don't know how to market that stuff. Like, I screw things up explaining things. Why would you have me? Well, you got to learn. Yeah, but if I say it wrong, people are going to look at me like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I do. It's up here. I just can't get it from here to here without being goofed up. So
Understandable.
Hold that thought. I'll be back.
Okay. Mary says, it is so much better talking to someone who goes through the same things that I am going through. Doctors don't get it a lot of the time. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Counselors, there are counselors out there that, have gone through, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. Those are really hard to find. They really can't relate. If I could find a counselor that related to me on this type of level on what I'm going through, I don't think I'd have such a hard time with them. But I just don't get along with counselors because
Did I? Oh, sorry.
no, that's okay. They just don't get it. They don't understand.
My last visit, so I go to a nurse of psychiatry for my medication, not therapy so much. And last time I went in, I told her I was looping, something that I was struggling with, and that I kept trying, coming at it from different ways to try and let it go. And did she have any suggestions? And I had felt this way in the past, but this time it was even more so, that she doesn't give me credit for being as intelligent or as self-aware as I am. And because if you're going to try and give me psychology 101, it's like, oh, honey, trust me, I have the book memorized. And, for me, if to receive the kind of information that helps me is like, have you tried coming at it from this direction? You have to go more in depth emotionally, spiritually, something such as that. And what I got from her basically was to not be so hard on myself and love myself more. So I walked out there really annoyed. I don't know if I'm going back to her or not. And if I do, I'm certainly not going to share anything with her, which is that's kind of counterproductive, isn't it?
You have to be comfortable and be open up to it. That's the thing. You have to be comfortable. And if she's not making you feel comfortable enough to open up like that, then you got to find somebody else.
Yeah, because I never had really shared that much with her before. I am not one to share my deepest, darkest. But not that I don't share a lot, I just have my limit,
Mm-hmm.
And was not very big with her. But then I got talking with my neighbor, I ran into her, saw her later that day or a couple days later or something. So I was still worked up over that. And so I told her the whole thing. And she said, you don't really hand someone a bottle of antipsychotics and then say, oh, you have to yourself. It doesn't really work that way. And I was like, thank you. Because it was so absurd that I wasn't getting validation from her as to, okay, I see that bothering you. Let's take a minute to just talk about how, kind of changing the narration. And, of course she's like, well, what was it? To like, I think it was not believe everything I think or something like that. And I'm like, with bipolar, I have learned to question everything I think and then question my questions. That is why I'm still alive.
Yeah.
And and she did start on the whole thing of being so hard on myself. I pulled a face. I knew I did. I didn't mean to, but I felt it happen. And I think she took that as me thinking that I perhaps was disagreeing with her or not feeling like I could do that. But really what I was thinking was, oh, sweet baby Jesus, please don't go there. Because it's like, it's not, that whole thing is just like, oh, shut up. So yeah, like I said, I'm seriously thinking, and it's $100 out of pocket to see her for a half hour.
Wow.
And so I'm really thinking, I want to go somewhere other than just the family doctor, but maybe until I see someone or find somebody else, I'll just go continue the prescriptions, because
Mm-hmm.
he is the kind of guy who does, if I believe the aliens are landing in my backyard, unless I am showing signs of being, hurting myself or someone else, I want you to roll with it. You know, that's my
Sugarcoat
and
until sugarcoating can't work no more.
and give me credit for the fact that I am a thinking person. If I'm going to share something about how I'm feeling, I have thought about it already. You know, I'm not just going to throw it out there like, you know, I'm not going to just go out and freak out on someone.
Right. You know, and that's a lot of, you know, people think, so, okay, I got to find this. I have to share this. This quote, it like spoke to me too, and it made so much sense. So let me pull it up. I gotta find it and pull it up. People don't understand that just because we suffer from mental health,
Emotional.
Yeah, we're not crazy.
Or unintelligent. In fact,
exactly. We're not dumb.
Most people I know with emotional issues are highly intelligent. That's part why they have emotional issues.
Right. I just gotta find it.
Ladies, I hate to ruin the party, but I have to cut my live short. The family is home and they're going to start racing through the house. And I don't think that's fair for our listeners. So I thank you all. I will see you on Monday.
Sounds good.
Heather, have a great week. You also, Bez, have a great week. Have fun.
Will do.
And if anyone needs me, my email is littledevil962@gmail.com. If you email me and say you'd like to just chat privately or whatever, I will be on, oh my God, Pixie's channel. And I'll be available to help whoever needs help. I thank you all. You have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.
Sounds good. Much love. Have a great day.
Right back at you.
Okay, I gotta find this quote. Here we go. I think it's in here. It was, oh, where is it? It's,
there we go. Did you saw Chance and Jeremy there in the background?
I didn't. I was over here looking for my quote. Oh, I love
that it tells me if I start talking, it's like your mic is off. It's like, thank you. I just saw that flash up on my StreamYard. It's like it's about time something like that was created.
It's such a awesome quote, and I don't want to screw it up. I know I saved it. I just don't remember where I saved. See, brain fog. Brain fog. Oh, I gotta remember to tell Tommy where I set some of this stuff. Oh, here we go. Found it.
Okay.
Okay, let me pull this up. I should have known it was in my YouTube folder. Okay, and hopefully you guys can read this. It's pronounced mental illness, not crazy. Fight stigma with the green. And lime green is actually the ribbon to support mental health.
Very cool.
I learned that this week too.
If I knew that, I forgot.
I wonder if that's why I like green. No. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool quote, and it's so true. So true. Real quick, I want to welcome James. I saw that James was in here. I did say it in the chat, but I wanted to acknowledge him. How you doing, James? Let's see. Mary says, I hope they have had training since then. The pharmacy needs to be notified.
Yeah.
I doubt he did. I doubt it. But I don't go in there anymore. So I get, it even brings out my anxiety and PTSD just talking about it, because it was
Sure.
so rude and so cruel.
Unnecessary.
Very much unnecessary. Very much unnecessary.
You know, it costs nothing to treat people with decency.
Exactly. Perlini says because they go by the book. They don't put compassion into it. Exactly. James said, what did you do, James? Let me see what you did. Okay. Let the anxiety begin. Smoking my last cigarette as I type.
All right.
Oh, good luck with that. And then he says, and done. Good
Drink
luck with that.
grapefruit juice. I've heard that the grapefruit juice helps.
Remember that, honey, when you want to quit. Grapefruit juice is supposed to help people when they're quitting smoking.
Really?
I have no idea
love
why.
grapefruit juice.
Dwayne tried it though.
Did it work?
He doesn't smoke anymore.
Oh, there you go. See, I don't know if I could, honestly, and I'm being 100% real here. I don't think I could quit smoking, because smoking, until I can find something that helps with my anxiety, smoking is something I do when my anxiety is really bad, and I chain smoke when that happens, which really is bad for me. I know.
Weed.
But once it's legal, I'm hoping that'll help me quit. So, but he said, James said, first day cigarette free November 15th. Awesome. But wait, if you were cigarette free, okay, let me see if I get this right. If you were cigarette free since November 15th, what made you pick up that cigarette and smoke it now? You were doing really good. Oh, November. Never mind. I thought that I'm in the wrong month. Brain getting the right month. All right. I thought it was October for some reason, or I don't know what my brain is doing. Don't mind me, but congratulations. I give you mad props. I hope this helps you.
You're trying to roll back the clock on this year?
Mary said that she has had a few doctors, a few of those doctors. Yep. B. Davy says, my last psychiatrist told me I couldn't be helped because I'm not willing to change. This was just the second visit. I'm still searching for another one. I get meds from a psych, but still need counseling. See, I've gone through counselors and counselors and counselors, and one counselor I had, she was phenomenal, as long as she wasn't my counselor. You know, I love her to death. I really do. It didn't work for her being my personal counselor. And
it's not that you thought of her as a bad person by any means. She just wasn't what you needed.
It wasn't what I needed. She was too blunt, too, what's another word would you describe her? You know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say her name on live.
Yeah.
She was too.
She didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, she didn't sugarcoat anything, and I couldn't do it. It wasn't a good fit for me. Now, anybody else? Yeah, and I loved what she did for everybody else. Me personally, I couldn't do it. It wasn't something that I could do. And absolutely not her fault. It's just I wasn't comfortable with that situation, so I couldn't do it. And I did go to her quite a few times before I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't. It's too much for me. I'm not mentally, I couldn't do it. But I would definitely recommend her for everybody else around here. Let's see. Mary says, nope, I would rather be right here or in a meeting where I am working on myself with others that are trying to untangle this mess in my head and gain some serenity. Yeah, exactly. And that's, I like doing this. And I watched a YouTuber, it was an interview, and now I can't think of his name. Baby, what was that guy's name? The one that 2 years ago was suicidal. We watched the interview, and he was all happy, like full of life now. Scion, okay, he's a YouTuber. I don't have his link or anything like that, but I guess his name is Scion. I missed his name at the beginning, but this guy too. Yeah, he does have a YouTube channel. Tommy might be looking for it, but I think he's looking for it. But 2 years ago, he's another one that is very much somebody who is also showing that there is hope out there. 2 years ago, he was at a very bad place in his life, and reselling for him saved him.
That's great. That
You
is
know,
really great.
and man, he was very powerful to watch. He really was. And he was so excited. He was like ADHD without having ADHD. He was just that excited and hyper and happy with the way his life is now. And he even said it took him a good year of helping others before it started helping himself. And so that's awesome.
That's great. Cool.
And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help others and not have to live inside my head all the time. Like
Yeah,
it helps me. What's that?
For me, being around other people, I can enjoy it, but it always seems to come with a price, because you know how once in a while in life, so a friend of mine, this is during the summer. A friend of mine, she and newlywed husband, they were up here. They live in southern Utah. They're up here. They parked their front of the house. That thing was about the size of my house. But anyway, Dwayne, he was in the house, went to bed. My friend fell asleep on the couch out there, and so her husband is going through the transition of P.T.S.D, and we sat and talked until 1 in the morning. It was so awesome. I learned so much, and she said that she learned so much. And you know how those connections are just kind of far and few between, where it's just positive energy and it's so wonderful. And then you think, I am going to go meet people. And then you go out into the world and you're like, this is why I don't go out into the world. Because it does come with a price. It is emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And especially when you take on other people's energy and then you have a hard time letting go. Like when you were talking about things that you can see Jeremy walking around back there. A neighbor who I do like, but she's very passionate about the religion I belong to but don't practice. And she was going on, and she can be rather loud. And I walked out of there on the edge of a panic attack. One thing is I didn't know that was coming. I didn't have time to prepare myself emotionally for it. And plus I had to go, my sister was, when she comes up to visit, she said her daughter's about an hour and a half away. And I already had told her I'd be going out to her place. So it was a quick stop in, and I got this torment of basically it felt like, being
Okay.
I already brought to. What?
You froze, and then you came back.
Oh, and but so the moments that you're not emotionally prepared, even if they're not personally attacked, amount of energy at you, and you just walk away just like, deep breaths, positive energy. These are just two experiences I've had within the past few months. That's why I'm using them as examples.
Right.
But it's those moments where you can connect with someone. Even if you're in completely different walks of life, it doesn't matter. The emotional connection. And but those are so far and few between that I do best when I mainly hang at home. And
Right.
I was a gal I was neighbors with a while back. Awesome lady. She's a therapist, and she told me, because I told her I was a kind of a therapy dropout as much as I've gone. She's like, therapy doesn't work for you. You need group therapy. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, told me I'm not the kind of person to go talk to the therapist and that be helpful. And when she said that, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure. Me personally, just too many negative things have been said to me by counselors. So I just when they say you need a
Do they
counselor,
think that tough love works? Is that what their thing is? They think they're giving you tough love to, and you're like,
they don't understand.
Yeah, I've already thought it, assessed it, and if someone, just like I said, my neighbor, how when she was like, well, you don't hand someone a bottle of antipsychotics and tell them to love themselves. And that was one comment that I knew she knew how I was feeling. And it was just like, thank you.
It's so rare to find a counselor that can relate on that level, that understands what we struggle with. It's hard
it's not
enough.
about a pity party.
Exactly. We don't want people to feel sorry for us. We just want them to understand where we're coming from.
Validate that you are an intelligent person who happens to have emotions that we know don't make sense. But that doesn't mean that we can just set them aside if we're cycling.
Right. And as crazy, or as, what's the word I'm looking for, unrealistic as it may sound to us, it makes sense. And to try to explain it to somebody, and I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's not like you asked for, let's say, okay, let's use the weather. Okay. Let's say, rain. It's a trigger. Okay. And you're not sure why it's a trigger because, well, nothing happened with the rain, but the rain triggered you and you get really emotional and you start crying. And you're asked, well, why are you crying? And you say, it's the rain. We know it doesn't make sense. It's just what's going on. And all we need you to do is for me is, Tommy, put your arms around me, give me a hug and tell me everything's okay. And just let me cry. Let me work on it myself.
You know what you really need to do, Des? Is
a punching bag.
It's like, yeah.
Tommy, so what is it that I need?
Yeah, but no. So when you bring up rain, making you cry. So you mentioning rain. We get very little rain around here. We get snow in the winter, but that's pretty much it. I had a friend who's been gone for 6 years now who loved the rain. And so when it does rain, I always pause for a moment to think about him. That it's like, it's raining. And so as far as that being an emotional trigger, I get it. Um, it's not something that brings me to tears, but it does make me stop and just take a moment. I'm talking just seconds, to just think, hey, Gary, it's raining. And, you collect those as you go through life. It's
Yeah.
just a part of life.
Yeah, and not everybody's mental health is going to be the same, no matter if you have the same diagnosis or not. It's going to affect each and every one of us differently. And I love what James said earlier up. I am trying to incorporate chat. He's like, I know the voices inside my head are not real, but man, do they have some great ideas.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that made me smile. That made me giggle. James, you're awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a huge thing I struggle with is oh yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm so glad that you said that, because I don't mean to be arrogant, but there are moments when I'm thinking, I barely survived public education, but I'm feeling smarter than the person with the master's degree. I've seen a psychiatrist once to get diagnosed. They're wasting money. But yeah, when you're thinking, because I think part of it is we know how we feel, and if you spend years, decades, researching what you are going through, looking to explain what you feel, find things, people, to relate, I think I'm an expert on me. I'm going to be P.T.S.D in a couple years. I feel like I've been bipolar since I was a teenager. I started reading books on mental health as a teenager. I am an expert on me. No one knows me better than I do.
Yeah, and not every sign of mental health, so major depressive disorder, for example, there is a list of, what's the word I'm looking for? A list of how they diagnose you with it. Okay. But you're not going to hit every single one of those. It's just a stepping stone to show, this is the direction it's in. And at each one is going to affect you differently than the next person who's diagnosed with major depressive disorder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody has their own brand.
Basis. Yeah, it's just a basis.
Yeah, same. With all of it. Yeah, everybody has their own brand.
Mm-hmm. And I love this. What B. Davy is saying. My IQ is extremely high, which I think may hinder relating to counselors. We are smart people. We are. Just like everybody else, we just unfortunately have an extra few stepping stones that we have to cross more than others, And then Barbara says, it is the therapist's job to communicate a skill to deal with your issues, and it is your job to work at determining if it works. Exactly. But
that is great.
I've actually had counselors in the past tell me, well, if you were a better person, this wouldn't have happened. Or
that is like the worst thing you can say to anyone.
I've had counselors tell me, well, you can get over it. Just get over it. And I'm just like, nope. Bite the tongue.
It's like, why do you think I'm here? I'm trying to get over it. This is supposed to be somewhere I can talk about what I can't get over. That was exactly what I was going through when I talked with this gal. Was this is what I'm cycling over. This is how I feel about it. This is what the logical part of my brain is telling me. These are the steps I have taken to try and get past this, and I'm still stuck.
Yeah.
And
help me. Don't tell me that I was a horrible person and that's why this happened. Or, if I would have done this, I heard enough of that from my ex-mother-in-law. I don't need it from a counselor, you know? I'm sorry, but I was done. I was absolutely done with that counselor. As soon as they said that to me, I opened up, I shared what I was going through, what happened to me, and then for them to turn around and throw that in my face was like, yeah, you know what you can do? You can take your job and you can lose it. Point out blank, because you have no compassion for what you're supposedly doing here. It's not okay. And back then, now I talk, a big game, but I'm also different than I was when I first got out of that abusive relationship. I was very quiet. I was very, very much not who I am now. Okay. I'm mouthy now. I have Tommy that if somebody irritates me, I'm like sick Tommy on them. But at the same time, I still am learning. For me, I'm starting to get a backbone and stand up for myself. And it's because of the way Tommy Tommy made the mistake. He could have had a quiet, meek, mild, do everything for him girl. But he decided to tell me that you have a voice, speak. Same thing he did to Jaslyn. Jaslyn doesn't shut up, but in a different way. And he helped me find my backbone when I didn't have one. And now, let me tell you, if I don't agree, 9 times out of 10, I will say something. I'm not as blunt as Tommy, though. I'm not as blunt as he is. But I can be your best friend, and I can be there to support you, and I can do whatever I can to help you. But don't attack me or my family, because then right there, the Irish comes out, and there's nothing I can do about it. Hello, Natasha. Welcome. And I saw somebody else come in. Carol's Creative Corner. Welcome. And Tony. Hello. Thank you all for being here and joining us. We're going to be heading out here shortly, but I do greatly appreciate you guys being here. Mary said being an empath out in the world is very exhausting.
It is. And I'm the kind of person who strangers will share things with me. And and I have to be able to just put that in the right place. If I'm in the right frame of mind, it's fine. Yeah. I just compartmentalize it and I'm fine. But glad that I learned having high empathy and was able to because I passed it on to my children, but I was also able to talk to them about this is what's going on with you, whereas I had no, even though the women in my family have been this way clear back to Eve, I didn't realize that was what was going on, and I cannot separate the empathy from the bipolar. They're two, yeah, and because I didn't take on other people's emotions, it probably would be easier, but and like I said, even when it is a positive, sometimes there's still the price to pay. Like I said, can have this great positive interaction, I'll still be drained. And then, of course, if it's an interaction that isn't positive or that, hits a nerve for me, definitely it drains me. And then it's like, you have to decompress, build back up, and keep going. But sometimes that takes a little time.
I'm trying. Okay, so chat. Sessions with Sad. Awesome person to watch. He does a lot of reselling videos, but he also, as I saw that he started talking about what he went through 2 years ago. Now I saw James in here made a comment, and I can't find it. I don't know why I can't find it, but he said, and I'll probably not be word for word, but he said that he uses, wait, I think I found it. Okay. So this is what he said. I use comedy to mask and fight my effing depression.
Oh,
Sorry.
absolutely. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't have to apologize here, James. I love your sense of humor. I love the fact that you put light. Dwayne does the same thing. If he puts comedy in where he feels it's needed, and it's much appreciated. So I absolutely love James. Don't ever feel that you have to apologize for being a comedian, and that's how you deal with your depression. It's welcome here. It's welcome here, 100%. I'll tell you if you get out of line. I'll tell you. Mary says, I really feel it's a chemical imbalance in my brain. I have felt that way from day one, like diabetes. And
Oh, yeah.
It very well is some form of chemical imbalance, no matter what your mental health issue is or what you struggle with mental health. It's just trying to figure out how to get ourselves to where we need to be at a normal level. And I don't mean normal as a normal, everybody being normal, because there's not really an actual normal.
No.
A normal level playing ground for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to work on. That's what we got to work on, each of us.
Emotional balance.
Exactly. A happy medium where everything's good. Carol says we need to work at it every day. Know the signs of depression, work it through, follow your program, know your resources to reach out when needed. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Natasha said, I had no idea, Destiny. I'm a little behind. Can you tell me what you mean? My brain. Then about the counselor stuff. And then how I was before. I want to make sure I got that right. Red flags with that counselor. Yeah, and I don't think he actually stayed being a counselor at the place that I was at. This was such a long time ago. I went in and said I need a different counselor, and they asked why. I said he's not a good fit. This is what he said. So I don't know what happened after that. But I don't remember seeing him after they transferred me to a different counselor. And I went through a lot of counselors there. The psychiatrist I had there, though, he was very gentle. He was a very nice person, and I was very, 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 very standoffish with men at that time. But he was able to reassure me that nothing bad would ever happen. And I knew that, and I wish I could remember his name. He was a tall, skinny guy that was very nerdy, but very, very compassionate. And I wish I could remember his name, but I can't for the life of me. Mary says, yep, depression definitely runs in my family. Same with mine. My mom, actually, I love my mom to death. My mom was always a very easygoing, fun, loving, let's hang out, play music, dance type of mom. Okay, even when she started working when I was 12, and I kind of got tossed in as the cook, babysitter, cleaner, stuff like that. Yes, my brothers were supposed to help, but you know how boys are when they're young. They just wanted to play. So, it became my responsibility. I took it upon myself to, make sure that things were done. And my mom's very OCD, very OCD. You can literally drop a piece of food on her floor and you could eat it because that's how clean her floors are. Okay. And granted, she'd be right behind you, mopping it up, making sure that that area that you dropped your food was clean. But that's how clean my mom is. Okay. I am far from that. Very far from that. I'm very opposite of that. Not that I have to, it's just lived in.
If food gets dropped on my floor, I tell the dog to eat it.
Yeah. We don't have a dog. We have birds and cats, or birds and cats. And our daughter does that. Our daughter is the one that'll pick it up and 5-second rule. No, Throw it away. Throw it away. Yuck, yuck. Barbara says, thank you for allowing us to know we are not alone. Yeah, not a problem. I felt alone for so long. And YouTube is such a great tool to reach out to others and be able to, you know, we're able to connect. This is like group therapy, I guess, if you want to really think about it. It's support, it's therapy, it's safe place. Let's see if I can do this right. Mental health safe place. you know. Natasha says, I'm a little on the empath spectrum, learning all about that now. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know what that means.
My oldest son, he's like, thanks a lot, Mom. I'm like, what? He said, all I have, his wife, all she has to do is walk in the house and I know how she's feeling. And I just said, you're welcome.
Yeah. Like Jasmine's very compassionate. I think she might be. I know what an empath is, but I don't know what empath spectrum on the empath spectrum. I want to look that up because that's kind of a.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to look that up too.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know what that means. I mean, I can guess what it is, but I want to know for sure. Like, I want to know for sure. She's very, very much, she can like feel, when we go out in public, she can feel people their emotions.
Yeah.
And if she can see that somebody is not having a good day, she'll just randomly, and this was horrible when she was little, she'd just run up to them, didn't know who they were, give them a hug and say, hi, have a great day. And they would smile. I don't know how many times Tommy and I had people come up to us and say, you know what, your little girl is so awesome. She made my day. She made me smile. You have no idea what it meant to me for her to do that. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Carol's creative corner says, I'm having a mental health day. I'm still in bed recharging my battery. Sometimes we need that. But just remember, you're loved. You're important. You're special. You got this. And I know it can take, but that's what I'm feeling I need to share. Natasha says relationship. Yes, I was in a very bad abusive relationship. I do have a couple videos of where I've talked about the domestic abuse that I went through, but that's not everything. I mean, I could probably spend a year explaining every little thing that I went through, but I'm not going to do that. Domestic abuse is very hard mentally, physically, emotionally. It's draining.
It changes who you are clear down to the cellular level.
Yeah, exactly.
Abuse does rewrite your DNA to a bit. They can find it in your DNA.
Yeah, I know that I will never be the same person I was when I was younger because I went through that relationship. I gave up a lot of goals and dreams that I had, and now I'm fighting mentally to try to get goals, try to get the motivation and the courage to do what I've always wanted to do. And it's hard. Oh, let me tell you, it is hard as can be to at least find a little piece of myself before that happened. I mean, there's some pieces coming, but it's not like in school, I was a cheerleader and for wrestling and basketball and stuff. I could walk into the school and I was bullied. Not the bully they call now. Like I physically was bullied in school and it sucked. But it never ever put me in a place where I wasn't smiling all the time. I knew everybody's first name in school. My graduation class, I knew their first name and last name. I could fit into any clique in my school, but I was a loner, if that makes any sense. Like I
Oh
could.
no, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm still kind of that way. I can talk to pretty much anyone, but at the same time, I don't join in. I always I'm more of a voyeur of my own life. I've always felt like.
And that's the thing. Like I wish I could go back and tell myself, like if I could go back and tell my younger self one thing, and it would be get away from him. Do not ever date him because he is going to ruin your life and you're going to struggle once you get. I was in hiding for 4 years. That sucked. Like that was horrible. And if I could go back and tell myself, stay away from this person, I don't know if I would believe myself or if I'd be like, okay, this is a little weird. But if I could go back and change that one thing, I don't think that I would be where I am now. And I know that because I experienced that, I wouldn't be here right now doing what I'm doing, especially on YouTube. It'd be something completely different. But at the same time, I wish I could go back and tell myself, stay away from this person. I need to focus on mentally how to correct what happened. I don't know if that made any sense. It made sense in my head. When it came out, it like got kind of scattered a little bit. So, it's Mary
Yeah.
said, what you said about the loop in your head really hit home for me, Heather. Yeah, it's the best way to explain it. And how Heather explained it was like, that's what that's called. Where it repeats in your head over and over and over and over and over. It's crazy.
You know that it's not. You're not working through it. You're not getting past it. It is not adding to your life in a positive manner, and yet it is there.
Right. Natasha said, I just mean, okay, so she's explaining the empath spectrum. I just mean the scale of being an empath. I don't think I'm a complete empath, but can't watch news. It makes me cry. I feel affected by people's pain or tears when others don't appear to.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I think back to when I was a young child, and I have, they're not even clear memories, but they are moments of my high ability to be compassionate. And I wish for my younger self, all of us can say this, but I really wish for my younger self that I would have grown up in an atmosphere where perhaps like I said, had someone explained it to me when I was younger, been told that it was perfectly okay. Instead of being shamed for being able to feel other people's emotions.
Yeah, a lot of people are shamed and shunned for that.
And I just wonder, we all wonder, if more positive environment in the formative years, what we would be like now. And there's just, I tried not to stifle my children from expressing their emotions. There were times when I'm like, okay, just, I understand you're having this. Can you just go over there and have it for a moment? You're safe, you're fine. I just can't take it in right now. Like my daughter, who's in the kitchen, right there. She, oh my gosh, if anyone is she'll be having a panic attack, and I'll just sit there not showing emotion, but my heart rate is up so high. Or even if she's not showing that she's having a panic attack, I'm still sitting next to her with my heart rate just pounding. Yeah, she is my number one triggerer of having anxiety because she has so much anxiety.
Hello, welcome.
Have you met Destiny before? No. This is Natalie in her Smurf outfit.
Awesome.
And then that's Chance, her fiance.
Hello. So Barbara says, where I live, there are a bunch of crazies, and your channel is the Great Escape. Yeah, it's weird. You were talking about how, with your children and stuff, they're very much
I cannot block my children's emotions. I have felt my children's emotions since before they were born, and I knew them before I got pregnant with them. I knew them before this world.
See, I have the complete opposite in my children. I have one child that expresses herself. She's very animated. Her personality is phenomenal. Like, people love her when they meet her. She's very much a giver, a lover, a protector. She's all of these things. And then I have a child who gets in trouble, doesn't show emotion at all, refuses to tell us what is going on, does weird, bizarre stuff.
Is he quite nihilistic?
I don't know what that word means.
That nothing matters. That it's all going to end anyway, so nothing matters.
Yeah, that's how he portrays himself. It's so
I do understand that.
And it's like, all you have to do is open your mouth, use your words.
Things matter to him. Just not.
Can you guys hear him?
Just his voice, not what he's saying.
Things matter to him. Just not priorities. Like, bugs really matter to him. Like, I mean, he'll cry over a dead bug. I mean, it breaks his heart. Taking away in school, he cracked the screen on his Chromebook, and they had to take it for repairs, and we broke down. I mean,
it was going to be gone for over the weekend.
That type of stuff matters to him, but behaviors, daily living, wash your ass, clean your room, stuff like that doesn't matter to him. Being defiant and breaking house rules doesn't matter to him. But then other things that wouldn't matter to normal people matter to him to an extreme.
Yeah.
So his emotions register differently than a typical person.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. It does.
To him, it makes sense.
It does, and I understand that part of it. But how do you get him to at least follow house rules, not get in trouble?
Yeah, raising a child who will never understand the world. I do not blame at all. I asked for 3 children. I was given 3 children. But my health through raising Jeremy, because, being on the autism spectrum, my health has gone to shit. And I talked to a family doctor last time we moved in. And I'm like, so people, now I've never considered Jeremy as being special needs. He's just extra need. And, but I said, it seems like people who have children, people that have children that are special need seem to have more health problems. And the doctor was like, yeah, they do. And, combination between special needs children are often not good sleepers. And the stress. Dealing with the judgment that you receive for the fact that you're trying to find a way to raise a child that other people can't understand.
Right.
The level that you will go to protect your child from those people. It is so draining that it shows up in your physical health. Not,
Yeah.
as
It
well as
does.
emotional and health. Yeah.
Yeah, and even Tommy and I both look at the situation with Joseph differently, and I'm learning how to, deal with my own mental health struggles and then try to deal with the crap that he's doing. It's too much, way too much, and the stress,
the physical exhaustion,
it's eating me, and I start leaning more towards him, and then I pull back, and it's like I have my own ideas on things. He has his ideas and feelings on things, and it's like there's no happy medium with the situation. I just want him to stop doing the oddball, crazy, freaky, what in the hell is wrong with you crap that he does. Just can you stop doing this? Can you stop doing that? Just do this. That's all you have to do is just do this simple thing. And there's a never ending cycle of BS that happens, that causes stress, that causes issues between Tommy and I, because yes, he is my firstborn. I know there's issues with him. I know this. I also love my daughter. She's what you would classify in this situation perfect, and he is not. And that may not be the right way to put it, but that's the only way I know how to put it. So
she's far from perfect.
And she is far from perfect,
but she's a normal.
Yeah, she's a normal child. Okay. So when I say perfect and not perfect is, yeah, she's not 100% perfect. Nobody ever is, but she's not doing the things that he's doing. So that makes her a lot more perfect than he is. Does that make sense? I am horrible.
My oldest son is an old soul. And I've mentioned how he's an older soul than I am. Raising a soul that's older than you is very, very challenging. But he was very from a young age. He had to be, and he became that way. And so in a lot of ways, the kid just kind of raised himself. So then we worked down to Jeremy, who his logic for me, it's like, and when he was younger, it was it was very difficult to discipline him, because if we were past the moment, if we didn't catch him like in the act, it was like, what do you mean? We're past the moment. And but and it really is hard to not look at the child that gives you less grief. And it's not that you want the other child to be a different person, but on the stress scale, it's like, why can't this that you give me be more like the other child or children? And I still want you. I just don't want to have stress.
I get upset watching shows where people have 3, 4, 5 kids, right? And they're normal kids. And I look at my situation, and I shouldn't do this because, I shouldn't do it, but this is what I do. So forgive me for, feeling this way. Why couldn't I have a normal, at least somewhat normal family life? Why was I the one, or why were we the ones to get a child that does the messed up things he does? Okay, I have a question for everybody. So let me think of how to word it. In the process, let me run over here to chat real quick, or let me bounce over to chat real quick.
Well, while you're doing that, I can share that I did look up. Let me put my reading glasses back on. The Empath series. Anyway, it talks about the different kinds of empathy, and I am familiar with that. Empath spectrum and shielding is what this is about. So there is the empath spectrum, and there are basically the three forms: high sense. I'm guessing that's me. Then there's your number two, I guess, and then your clairsentience. I'm not that extreme, and but yeah, I had been I was at the chiropractor's office. I go there for my massage therapist works there. And there was a lady who was greatly stressed out. We're sitting far apart. And I'm watching her just eating at her. And I wanted to tell her, you're going to be open to receiving that. So I didn't say anything. But as you can see, it's still with me. Had I felt she was open to receiving that, I would have told her. And I have no idea what it was. But at the same time, I was going to get through whatever that's bothering her. For like 5 minutes, I was just sitting there staring at her. She was away.
Carol says that she is. Thank you. I know that I'm being good to myself today. Staying in bed is always a good thing. Mary says this video went on my. I'd love to be able to stay in bed, but yeah, I had to stay in bed when I got home from the hospital.
This video went to my inspiration list so I can watch it again. That's very sweet.
Yes, that's so awesome. Thank you very much. Perlini says, I don't put up with the blame game people. Yeah, me neither. Not no more. I used to.
Yeah.
I used to sit there and let people just say stuff to me that was hurtful and nasty and mean, because I was afraid that if I said anything, that what happened in the relationship, what happened, the domestic abuse relationship would happen with other people. And because that's what I was told repeatedly, that would happen. Let me tell you, me and Tommy, we can disagree. And I won't say they're fights, because fights are like using fists in my book. But we have some
just having disagreements.
And not once, and let me tell you, I can make the man mad. Not once has he ever raised his hand to me, ever. No matter how mad I get him, he's never once laid a hand on me.
Ooh, but if you were a dude.
But if I was a dude, because I can get.
I've never even given. I feel very fortunate. I've never even given that thought with Dwayne. As far as something bad's gonna happen, I've never even. It's never been something I've ever even considered. In fact, one time I was talking with a friend, and she said she caught her husband in a lie. And I thought, you know what? I even questioned if Dwayne. It's never been something that's even entered my thought process with him. And I felt so fortunate that in that moment, but that really was intentional, because my father was not an honest person, and so I made sure that I did marry an honest person. And
Tommy's pretty honest. He's 100% truthful, and it's so weird to me.
Honest to a fault.
because of, the domestic abuse relationship, I have always been an honest person. I'm real. This is who I am. I can be airheaded. I cannot catch things when they're directed at me. I miss a lot of stuff, but that's just who I am. Tommy, he's like, really? You didn't get that? And I'm like, no. So he'll explain it. I'm like, oh, oops, my bad. Or I miss, things because of my hearing. And it's crazy.
Dwayne does too. Yeah.
He's over here picking on me now. He's over there
what
picking
I've
on me.
noticed with Dwayne, like as he's going through daily life, as far as the hearing goes, and he does have hearing aids now. Well, one is broken. He's got to send it in.
Uh-oh.
But I had noticed world, then there are things he misses because of all the other sound.
Yeah.
And so, like say if he travels with business and all that, sometimes I do have that little bit of concern. Is to remember to pay attention to everything around you, even if there's a lot of noise and you're in the.
Yeah, I don't wear my hearing aids. I have them. I don't wear them because the people in my house, 2 people,
are so loud.
They don't think before they open their mouths and make loud noises, which cause the
Jeremy's
hearing
loud.
to be 1,000 times worse and cause headaches. So I can't wear them around. I can't wear them.
Yeah, Dwayne will take his out. My dad, he also had hearing aids, and yeah, he'd take them out so he didn't have to listen. But
well, you don't wear them anyway. Well, I can't wear them if you guys can't keep your volume at a normal level for me or a lower level, because you don't understand what it's like to have hearing aids in and somebody come up to you really loud in your ear. It's like, hello.
Dwayne doesn't do well in large groups because then it's all just noise.
Yeah. I don't hear people. Like, we went to the grocery store and I was standing next to the shelf. I did not hear the people that were coming up behind me. And Tommy's got to like put his hand on my shoulder and step me back so people can get through, or push, kind of like put his shoulder and just, he's not shoving me, he's not pushing me. It's his signal to let me know that somebody needs to get through. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear you. People don't understand that. And he comes up behind me. I can't hear him when he comes up behind me. But if he gets really close to my ear and screams, like, sound is different for me than most people. And Dwayne probably can relate to this.
Yeah.
My high tones and my low tones are gone. The other tones in between that get distorted. So, Thomas, you're lucky I caught myself and not said your middle name. Being sassy. Go. Yeah, go. Go. He's being a dork over here. So yeah, I mean, it's Perlini. This has to go back to my son. That I remember. Something is deep rooted. He doesn't even know, or someone to correct it. See, and that's, we try to get him to open up. He doesn't open up. Joey does not open up. He does weird things that is destructive. Very destructive. He will be 15 in March, and he won't open up and talk to us at all. No matter what it is, he won't open up. I don't know what else to do with him. This last incident, go with love, Tommy. Yeah, he's not down here now. I kicked him out. I told him go away. I don't know what to do with him. I don't know how to get him to open up. I don't know how to relate to the situation, whatever is going on in his head. there's just so much. And he will be 15. And he's only got a couple years before he's going to be on his own. And I try
or is legally old enough to be.
Right. But how do you get somebody to relate to you, or to at least explain what's going on deep down? Because counseling doesn't work. Let me tell you, no counseling. No, not going through that again. Not going through that again.
Have you considered, for his benefit, of when he does turn 18, you can do... I hope there's someone who knows what I'm talking about better than I do. But if someone is not mentally capable, you can still be like their guardian, even though they're over age. And that kind of protects them from such severe consequences. Like if he goes out into the world and does something really stupid, and then you're like, but, you know, you have had him declared as... yeah, that might be something that you need to look into. Is there somebody who can explain this better than I know it exists? Yeah, I just don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know. I just want him to tell me what's wrong so we can fix it, so he isn't living the way he is, if that makes... and hi, Kimmy. Sorry, I knew you were in here. I was seeing. I'm just trying to get through the chat, because then I have to get going. Got 5 minutes to try to get through the whole chat here, or what the rest of the chat. Kimmy says, because you are only given what you can handle, so apparently you are strong one woman. No, I am not strong. Not when it comes to this. Not when it comes to this. I wish I... I want to tell you what he did this last week. I can't. I can't. But let's just say it was bad. It was not normal. Some people know, because I had to talk to somebody.
There's only so much you can keep inside before it just starts coming out.
Yes. And I think you know what I'm talking about, Heather. I'm sure Dwayne told you, because Tommy needed a bit. He went to Dwayne.
No, Dwayne.
All right, I'll tell you after.
I do have to tell Kimmy something. Okay. She and I were texting yesterday, and then I read over the conversation after, and oh my gosh, I was laughing at myself so hard. You know when you're texting with someone and things aren't coming through in the order they would, you know, when you're talking? And I just have to tell her that I just had to stop and laugh at myself. Because we had a great chat, but it was just, I had said something, and then later I'm like, oh.
Right. And the question was brought up, what is normal? Who defines normal? It's not so much that I want him to be normal. I just want him to stop doing the crap that he's doing. And
you'd like him to function on a level that you could believe that he could make it in the world someday. Yes. But the behaviors he's displaying now do not show you that he will ever be able to take care of himself in a healthy way. And I think that's really all we can...
my heart just dropped. My heart just dropped. I read Mary's comment, Kim. She said, Kim painted me a picture on the water with the anchor. It says, refuse to sink. I put it up on my wall in front of the toilet. It has saved me many times. I saw in my StreamYard chat the wall and toilet. And like, because I was trying to read the whole comment, but all that popped out was wall and toilet, and I lost my mind for a minute. Let's use wall and toilet and sun in the same sentence, and most of you will probably figure it out from there.
I wanted to put tile up my walls up the walls in the kids' bathroom when they were young. I was like, why don't we just do the tile all the way up?
Carol says, thank you for sharing and caring. I got dressed, off to Olive Garden with hubby, and get some groceries. Hugs to you, or hugs to all of you. Know there is a group to help.
Very
Awesome.
kind.
Let's enjoy your Olive Garden. I've never been there. Tommy keeps telling me he's going to take me someday.
You must not have one in your area.
We don't, but I also grew up in an area that didn't have one either, so I didn't know what Olive Garden was. I actually thought it was a garden full of olives, so I got excited.
I would love to go to a garden full of olives. That would
I
be
know,
so
right?
nice.
So I thought it was like, whoo, that's pretty cool. I like olives. And then Tommy had to explain to me what it was, and I was like, oh, okay, I feel really silly now, but Kimmy says, yes, I know what you are talking about, Heather. My brother is 28 and has schizophrenia. He lives on his own, but my parents basically are in control of finances and medical things. Okay. He has a nurse who comes by every day to give him meds, but he lives in his own apartment. I would be content. Honestly, I would be 100% content with that situation for my son.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that he's
That's
going
great
to
that her brother
down by the river.
Yeah. The fact that her brother can do that much is a really good thing. But I can also understand her parents would not want to give up control over the very crucial things in his life, like money and his health care.
See, Kimmy says my brother was also very destructive growing up, very closed in. He is not like that anymore because it's controlled now.
That's great.
Did he use your walls as a toilet?
That's a schizophrenic behavior, I'm sure.
Because let me tell you, it's crazy. It's crazy. Perlini says, we have an Olive Garden, but I've never been there. It's 3 miles from my home. Well, you need to try it and tell me what you think. That's what we should
Olive Garden's okay. That's all. It's okay. They have a really good pumpkin cheesecake going on right now.
Ooh, pumpkin cheesecake. I like pumpkin, but I'm not a real big pumpkin fan. I'm not a really big food fan. I love food, but it's not, I should say I love food, but food's not loving me.
Yeah.
So,
I have that system too. So, Kimmy, I think my daughter gets it now. So she is just 2 years older than Jeremy. And unfortunately, the extra effort that Jeremy needed did cause resentment for Natalie. I tried so hard. But, when you have a child that needs extra effort, what do? You do it. But anyway, I had told both her and my oldest son, with having a brother that's on the spectrum, and then for you, Kimmy, brother, with his issues, you are learning now how to deal with problems. And, and I told Natalie, when you go out into the world, you're going to understand people with autism, and she does.
mm-hmm.
She can pick out someone with autism. Like I told you, Utah is the highest place for autism in the world. But there's been times when she, like, working with the public, having a customer or having a coworker, that people are like, what is their problem? And she's like, what do you mean? They're on the spectrum, duh. Because I really think that as hard as it is, it's still kind of a skill that you do learn through the process of living with someone, especially if you grow up with it.
Right.
And I'm just wondering if Kimmy feels that as hard as that was for her, which I can't even imagine, the brand of her struggle, has that made her the ability to be more compassionate towards other people with serious issues?
All right. Natasha said, we have a beautiful Olive Garden center in England and is such a sanctuary to go shopping and eat at Christmas.
I'm so jealous. Oh, I would love to see that. I'm going to have to Google it.
And Perlini, with hers being 3 miles down the road, you know, she said that I know it's always packed before.
Oh, there's a line out the door in the one that's in our county. You know, drive past it and there's people. Well, it's getting cold now, but when the weather was warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kimmy answered your question. She said, I have a soft spot for those with any type of special needs. It's just a wire not connected doesn't mean they are not human. Exactly.
That is
So-
so, yeah, realizing even if someone doesn't function within the parameters of normalcy, they are still a person. They are still a part of us as being a human being.
Yeah, she said he got a lot of attention growing up, made me feel like a shadow, but I don't regret any of it because I have a better understanding of others and I know it's not something that can be easily fixed.
So I'm not sure if Natalie is quite to that point yet, but I do think she will get there. Now, what's the age difference between you and your brother, Kimmy?
Because she says my brother and I are very close now, love him to pieces. Jasmine struggles with that, you know, with the stuff that her brother does. She still loves him, but she struggles. She gets angry with him too because of the things that he does. And why are we jumping out? Why are we jumping around like a monkey over here, Jeff?
That I had told Natalie, because my oldest son, he's 5.5 years older than Natalie, 7.5 years older than Jeremy. So and he had a hot temper as a teenager. And Jeremy were just about the same size for 10 years, from the time he was 4 and she was 6 till he was 14 and she was 16. And so when he passed her up in size and being 14, I said, Natalie, you have lived with my oldest son, but I'm like, you have lived with one teenage brother, and your younger brother has become a teenager. So you might want to watch that mouth. And I said to Jeremy, I am not condoning this. And I'm like, but Natalie, with that mouth of yours, if you find yourself flying across the room, smacking into a wall and sliding down it someday, well, you have pushed your brother too far. And he never did do that to her. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe he never did that to her. But she is kinder to him. Jeremy does have his frustrating behaviors, but he's not a hurtful person. And that is, I've been so fortunate. Is challenging. Jeremy was basically a feral animal as a child. You know, he didn't talk. He ran around like crazy. I knew he was smart by watching what he did. And he was very difficult to reach. But out of my 3 kids, he has been by far the least hurtful as far as things that he has said to me. Because, you know, the other 2 going through teen years, they don't do it now, but going through the teen years and saying really crappy things. And Jeremy never did that to me. And so as challenging as he can be, I do think about that he is a loving person. And not saying that my other 2 aren't. It's just that I'm his favorite person. So I always have been, even as a baby, and that's part of how I knew that something was up with him. He was just still a small infant when I'm like, he's got something wrong with him. But he only wanted to be with me.
Oh wow.
And he really wasn't much of a crier, which is different for a baby on the spectrum. They typically do cry quite a bit, and he really wasn't. As long as he was by my side, he was perfectly happy and content.
Thinking about that, Joey didn't cry.
Yeah, it seems like they seem to be extremes. Either they cry just endlessly, or they really don't cry at all when it comes to children that are atypical. Because yeah, Jeremy rarely cried, as long as he was with me. So that by the time you have 3 kids, you don't really go out into public, but that much anymore while they're all little.
Joey was the exact same way when he was a baby. Like he didn't cry. He would whimper a little bit if his diaper needed to be changed or he was hungry, but he didn't cry. And if I wasn't around, as long as he could hear my voice, he was okay. But if he couldn't hear my voice, man, he just wouldn't even whimper. Like he just stayed. He didn't want anybody touching him but me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Jeremy. He didn't want anybody to mess with him but me.
He says, I'm happy that I found your channel. It's very refreshing for me. Thank you. You are most welcome. And actually, I do have to go.
Well, you know, it's 1:12 here, so you've been going for
3 hours.
Yep, 3 hours and 10 minutes going.
But I will be back on Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Same channel, same topic, mental health, Safe Place Live. It's just now going to be switched to Mondays. So I hope to see everybody there. Thank you again, Heather, for joining me today. Thank you, Claire, if you're kind of listening in the background. Thank you for joining me. Kimmy, are you able to jump on in the back room after the live real quick? If so, let me know. We will see you guys on Mondays from now on. And remember, you are worth it. You are not alone. You are loved. You have support. Much love. And have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Do you want to say anything?
Winter's coming. We're gonna make it. We are gonna get through it.
So good.
I want to go outside, but it's like 30 out.
Yeah, it's crazy cold out here.
And I'm looking up the temperature, but I'm just telling myself we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through the winter. 30. Oh, it's above freezing. Wow, it's 37.
All right. So have a great day, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. We will see you Monday night. Much love. Bye, everybody.